Hello friends, my name is Mira. You are on the Dead Knitter Society YouTube channel, and instead of doing a knitting and grieving podcast today, we're gonna do Vlogmas 2025 day 1. And not because I planned this out, no, not because I had grand schemes of doing Vlogmas every day, which I still don't, but because I opened up YouTube this morning while I was putting on some distraction noise to finish my homework and realized that yes, it is December 1st and therefore Vlogmas is happening and I have advents, that's plural, we'll get to that, to go over. So here we are. I don't know if this is going to be daily. I don't know really what I'm going to do. I know that a knitting and grieving podcast is coming later this week. Hello, this is Margot. Because I am sharing my story at a grief event this week. So that will be a separate podcast. But let me tell you about why I have 2 advents. Because past Mira really has some short-term memory deficits when her stress level gets high. And my brain is taken up so much by my graduate school education right now that there's literally no extra space anywhere. So, hi Margie. I know she gets so excited when I'm at the spinning wheel because she knows that there's going to be like stuff to chase. And yes, I am wearing my full nocturne top and pajama bottom. I know that it's Monday. This is a day off for me and I want to be in my comfy jammies that I made. So this is my version of me made Monday. Thank you very much. I'm not sure that I've actually shown you the top. I finished the top, oh gosh, probably about a month ago. I have since made another pair of nocturne pants in like a beautiful fleece. I did cut the fabric upside down. Whoops, learning. I also made a gypsum skirt, which these are also liberated patterns, and I will link them below. The skirt was a little tricky. I used some of my mom's old stash fabric, and the pockets like really fell open in kind of a weird way at my hip. So I ended up kind of tacking them down so that I can still use the pocket, but without it kind of ballooning away. So I was really happy with that. I wore that on Thanksgiving. I am proceeding through learning to fit the bodice for the hinterland dress. And I don't know about you, but like I'm going through this end of year acceleration in my brain of like, oh my God, I have to do all the things at all of the times right now. So I like maybe did a little bit of Black Friday, Cyber Monday fabric shopping. And now my queue of things to sew far exceeds the amount of time I actually have available at a sewing machine. So that maybe isn't the most helpful. And even like one of my advents is fiber. I have a lot of fiber to get through and I don't bring my spinning wheel skiing with me. So your girl maybe has some unrealistic expectations of what I can get done. I did want to show you, this was some of the thin fiber that I got at Vermont Sheep and Wool. This is in a 2-ply. I still need to wash and thwack this. So I spun it on my regular flyer, which I have set up here, but then I switched over to the super flyer, which of course I just took down, but onto a jumbo bobbin legacies, so I could do 2 4-ounce balls into 1 bobbin, which was amazing and made it totally worth it. So I love that. Anyway, so back to why I have 2 advent calendars, because my brain gets ahead of myself, okay? This is what it's like to live with ADHD. All right, so sometime in the summer, no, maybe it was the fall, I was like, I'm gonna get an advent calendar again this year. I loved doing it last year. My daughter so sweetly got me a fiber advent, and so I have a lot of stuff to do stitch swatching with of mom's stitch patterns, and that is going to be a project for June of 2026 when I'm not in graduate school. I'm just pinning that. That has a pin in it. But I loved bringing back advent calendars that my mom used to do for us when I was little. It is hard because like I'm not going to see my 2 teenagers, I don't think, at least until tomorrow, possibly Wednesday. So they won't get to start their advent calendars right away, but it's okay. We make it work. But I'm going to get mine done on the 1st. So I was like, okay, Twice Sheared Sheep, they do a cool one. Let's find out. I have to give this an A+ for Pretty packaging, right? Love that. So I was like, okay, cool. Promptly forgot that I had already ordered a fiber advent when it came out. Purple Lamb Fiber Arts. My Sizzle Pop sweater I did with their yarn, really pretty. They are doing a fiber advent, let's see, based on these colors. When I ordered the twice sheared sheep, do you think I remembered? No, it was like a fugue state past Mira, somehow very cleverly ordered an advent of fiber and has zero recollection when she then orders a Knitting Notions advent, because I roll like that. You know, this is a little bit like, there was one year that I went into our ski closet and I was like, oh, I really need to replace my skis this year, and opened up the ski closet to find the skis that I had bought myself at the end of the season. I mean, it's cool because I get to have like Christmas throughout the year when present Mira finds out what past Mira was up to. But all right, so ooh, this is very pretty. So I don't know if you can see, but all of these boxes are labeled with numbers. If you've never done an advent, it counts you up to Christmas Eve. Some people do like 12 days of Christmas advents. Mom always got us the 24-day ones, but whatever you can find and whatever works. I think it's cool. All right, so day one for the twice sheared sheep. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh, isn't this cute? So this is crinkly. Sorry for the sounds. But this is a very adorable crinkle. Very adorable little pouch, stitch pouch with, it's like, actually this isn't even that Christmassy, which I kind of appreciate. It has a nice leather wristlet, nice little project pouch that has Grandma and the Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood, and it's beautifully lined inside. So that's a great little like small project or notions pouch for day one. Delightful. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at our fiber, and I was thinking that we could have a chat for Vlogmas while I spin up this wee bit of fiber. So all of these little boxes are labeled with the day on it. She also sent some dyed locks that go with the colorway, which is really pretty. I'm not entirely sure how to use those, so we're going to learn, and that's okay. I think, oh, this is a beautiful, like, deep purple. And I believe this is all, like, merino. I'm honest to God, not even sure if it's superwash or not. No idea. We're just going to find out. But, so it's probably about, I don't know, an ounce of fiber. Just going to do a little bit of pre-drafty action here. I love this. Oh my gosh. And this is going to be like, make sure that I'm spinning daily. You know what? Next year, you know, when I'm not actively in school and losing my mind, and, you know, I'm like gainfully employed, I might do 2 of these so that I have fiber to spin daily for Tour de Fleece. That could be kind of fun. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna go clockwise. Ooh, I need to increase my, I like just put this flyer back on. So we need to get our break tension set up correctly. Give me a second here. And that might be a wee much. Here we are, all right. So yeah, so maybe but honestly, given the way that I'm going, I'm still gonna have fiber from Vermont Sheep and Wool to be spinning through by the time we get to Tour de Fleece next summer. Just because your girl does not have a ton of time right now. And that's okay. I'm like kind of barely surviving this push to the end of graduate school. I think that I am somewhere around, 150 days which is very cool because I also just got invited to the Discord channel, to the group that my daughter and I are going to Ireland with after we graduate. Rachel is Knitting, who is a creator on YouTube and on Instagram. She hosts these travel trips. She usually goes to Ireland or to Scotland. She does several a year. She's doing Copenhagen, or did Copenhagen? No, doing Copenhagen next year. But really delightful, crafty person. And so for graduation, Bella and I are going on one of those trips to Ireland and Northern Ireland. And we are leaving like the day after we graduate. So I am anxiously counting down. We are less than 6 months to go. This is week 14 of the semester. So we'll have 2 weeks off, and then January 5th starts my last semester, and that is 16 more weeks, which is bananas to me, like how quickly this is going. And I'm ready. You guys, I am ready. I'm not sure if I didn't really give a lot of thought of what I'm going to, like how I'm spinning this up. Because there's part of me that's like, oh, I probably should have split this in half so that I could like at least ply it. Because there's definitely too much twist in this to do signals. But I can also just spin this straight color and then ply it with something else that I find cool, because at some point I'm going to run out of bobbins. Forethought is not my forte. Here, we'll do this. I mean, it's not scientific. It doesn't need to be scientific. We can vaguely guess. Thereabouts. All is well. Obviously, you can see I am at the point of mental exhaustion in graduate school, that the field in which I grow my fucks is very barren. Very, very barren. But anyway, so yeah, here we are going through the Advent. I realize that a lot of people are setting up their holiday shindigs, and I also realize that I am being somewhat Judeo-Christian, but really Christian-centric, and I'm a heathen. I call myself a cultural Catholic. I think I've mentioned that before. You know, my mom was raised in Rome by Roman Catholic nuns. But then she left the church when her first marriage ended and was annulled, even though there was a child from that marriage. She didn't really jive with that. So she left the church, and I always say that I was raised with all the guilt, no ceremony, and I really love stained glass. But we definitely, you know, celebrated secular Christmas, and Mom always did Advent calendars, and you know, Santa was the spirit of giving, and we were aware that this is, you know, a stolen pagan holiday of very many different descents, and I'm okay with that. But we also had neighbors who celebrated Hanukkah. They were Jewish, so we would go over for their latke party during Hanukkah, and they would come over on Christmas Eve to celebrate the Feast of the Fishes, although Mom never really did do 7 fishes. She usually just did 1, and it was usually eel, and I thought that was gross. Maybe this is becoming a knitting and grieving, or spinning and grieving, I don't know. But yeah, so I am not a, okay, Thanksgiving happened, set up all of your Christmas stuff. I'm more of our house has no closets, so the stockings usually don't get put away. I know you've seen that. And because we are going to be traveling after Christmas, you know, during the last week of the year, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure that I can justify putting out a, like a real tree that we're just going to have to take down before, you know, before we leave. It's like a few steps too far for me. I don't know. but I mean, we have a little tree that's, you know, fake with lights on it. And so that might just be the thing that we do. Because this year, between the travel and school and work schedules in EMS, my husband is working Christmas Day. That's not really a day you can swap off. Like last year, I think he was able to adjust because we were taking his dying, or 2 years, was it? It was 2 years ago. Wow. 2 years ago. You know, people helped him out so that we could get mom to Italy. But, yeah, this is the second Christmas without her. Ugh. Ugh. You know, the first was really, really hard. The second Thanksgiving, this incoming set of holidays, almost feels harder because I know how hard it was. And now I have to do it again. I think maybe that's part of why I'm like, decorating, the stuff. But I don't want to let that apathy bleed into our, you know, into the holidays. I don't want my kids to then have bad feelings about holidays because I couldn't get my act together. So maybe I'll just do this, like do 12 days as one spin, and then like just put it all together, like apply that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. Literally have no idea what I'm gonna do here. Whatever it is gonna be will be very pretty. And at some point I'll figure out what to do with those locks. No idea. No clue. But I haven't sat in my spinning wheel for a week. Maybe it's been a week. I don't know. But I do love this. It gives me a lot of like, there's a lot of peace that comes with just the rhythm of it, that my feet still get to move so I don't have to sit still. Please see aforementioned ADHD. Yeah. So I am very curious to hear about your holiday traditions. And if Vlogmas is even something that you, if you're like a YouTube watching person, is this something that you like follow? I'm almost wondering if like a weekly Vlogmas is something that's probably more reasonable, or if this is going to be a series of me doing like shorts through the week to at least show off the Advent things. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If it's something where you like, yes, I look forward to people's daily videos, then I will absolutely take that into account. But if it's like, oh my God, more videos to watch, Sweet Jesus and Mary, I will also take that into account. Baxter, hang on, bud. And then there's that, you know, I want to know about what your holiday rhythms look like. Do you have your house decorated for whatever secular and or religious holiday you ascribe to? I know that there are others. Kwanzaa comes up. I forget if Diwali is passed already. I think it may have already passed in the fall. But I would love to know what your rhythms and traditions are if you're an Advent person. Do you, like does your past self gift you with things that you then promptly forget about? It's funny because, you know, my mom, I forget if it was like for Christmas or one of her birthdays. This is before I was born. But my dad and my sister wanted to make her like a blueberry pie or something. It was probably her birthday. And they couldn't figure out how to make the crust. So she got out of bed, helped them with the crust, and promptly had a very serious case of amnesia. And that was always the running joke in our family was, you know, oh, yes, the parent will get this thing and then develop a very serious case of amnesia. But I've taken that, I think, maybe a step too far. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I want to know about your traditions. I want to know if daily Vlogmas is something that you find helpful, hurtful, what. I'm definitely looking forward to showing you, actually like getting my act together to show you some of my sewing makes. And I have to do a knitting update. Like, I'm still working on my turnstone tank. It's been, your girl's been busy. My making has been a little bit in starts and fits. And sewing is kind of instant gratification, so I've been leaning into that lately. But I did pull up, I did another one of Joji Locatelli's online workshops, which I adore. She's such a talented teacher. So I pulled out my Mabel sweater again and actually made some pretty decent progress on that over the weekend. And what was the other one that I had out and about with me? Turnstone, Mabel. Oh, and my second ranunculus. I also finally separated for sleeves on that, and that moves really quickly because it's on bigger needles. So yeah, and then I need to like take a serious look at setting up next year's making journal with my Make 9. I think I'm gonna have a sew 9, a knit 9, and maybe give myself, you know, spinning projects and or just include my spins in my maker's bingo, which I'm going to keep track of in my journal this year. So yeah, tell me, shoot me some comments. Let's see what we're doing here with this Vlogmas bidness, and if it's even reasonable to try to make it a daily thing. I don't know. I do love this fiber. This is really nice to spin with, and the color saturation is gorgeous. So I don't think I'm going to go wrong with however I deal with it. So with that being said, happy day 1 of Vlogmas and day 1 of Advents and day 1 of December, this final month in 2025. I will definitely give you an update Wednesday on how that talk went. I'm looking forward to sharing that recording with you. And as always, with so much love and gratitude in my heart, I wish you the best afternoon. Talk to you soon.